I see the red live button, Jeremiah. It's Monday, 3:30 Mountain Time. We're talking all things employee wellness. Wonderful to see you.
As always, my
Yeah,
friend, Mondays are rocking with the team at iFix Hearts.
that's right. Happy post Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone had a nice holiday. And I want to start with we originally were going to have our my friend and colleague Jator Pierre on today. He unfortunately could not join us. We are for sure going to get him back on as soon as that his schedule allows that way. But we've got some other exciting things we're going to share with you in the on the employee wellness front today. But as always, let's start with our medical disclaimer. This live stream, as well as any other live streams that we're participating, are not personal medical advice. If you're interested in working with Dr. Ovadia and the iFix Hearts team, reach out to them at team@ifixhearts.com. But this is not personal medical advice. But we're certainly glad you're here joining us. And we've got the comment section opened up. I wanted to kick it off today, Jeremiah, with something that happens really frequently post a holiday. That is, everybody is looking at that scale and maybe thinking, oh no, what did I do? Did I eat too much or indulge a little bit longer than necessary over this holiday? So let's talk about non-scale victories. What do you think about that today, Jeremiah?
I think that's great. And I enjoyed our brief dialogue before this, getting ready. And again, team, we're committed to being here every Monday to come with our energy, our value, our knowledge, and share. So as we were getting ready for this, what a fun topic, right? Timely, right? And then we also have, the holiday season and New Year still coming, right? To finish strong here. So as we keep that concept in mind, like the non-scale victories are really drive that momentum through the rest of the year.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned, and we made a pledge every time we're going to talk about metabolic health, we're going to mention the metabolic markers as well, in addition to talking about non-scale victories today. But those metabolic markers, waist circumference, blood pressure, blood glucose, triglycerides, and HDL cholesterol. And notice none of those are the scale either. Right? There are other markers. But when we talk about our health, whether it's employee health, company health, overall health of the nation, we have to look at the pieces that are sort of in the bucket of what we would call quality items, not quantity, but quality. Things like your energy, your mood, focus, and performance. I know you're in sales, Jeremiah, so performance. You really want your employees, your team to feel like they can perform at their optimal level. And these non-scale victories, I like to say, are as important than some of the numbers.
No, I agree with you 100%. In a lot of my training, I talk about, it's called Sell to Serve, but in that training modules, I talk a lot about best version of you. And that's what this earth, that's why you're on this earth. That's to be that best version of you. And the metabolic health component is at the center of that, right? In the way that you're interacting with metabolic health or not, right? And that employee wellness component, right, is our approach to coming into the corporate sector, right? Sectors, and then treating a one-to-many approach. When we get that happening, it's really an amazing cultural event. Such a cultural event. That's what we want.
Absolutely. And it brings up also this point, we're certainly in the United States, we talk about food a lot. In fact, that was something very interesting to me when I moved to the Netherlands. I lived in the Netherlands in Europe for a couple decades. I lived in some other countries, but primarily the Netherlands. One of the things I noticed is people are not spending their hours talking about calories or their diet or, what their macros are. They will sit down and have dinner and enjoy the dinner together. Maybe talk about where the food came from or what part of the country this dish stems from, and really enjoying that. And maybe we can pick up a little bit on that of thinking there's also non-nutritional things that influence our health, like sleep, stress, exercise, and as any comprehensive employee wellness program should be, is incorporating all of those things, the non-scale pieces of the puzzle, as well as the non-nutritional lifestyle items.
Nice. Krisna, cultural event, Thanksgiving, for sure, cultural. When we can create more metabolic wins and non-scale wins along the journey here, incredible. With Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's coming up, what are some other things, Krisna, that we should be looking at in terms of non-scale victories?
So maybe, great question, Jeremiah. Maybe what's interesting, right? We've got now, I guess we have 4 weeks left to finish the year strong. That this might be a time to start tracking something that's a non-scale item of interest to you. So let's say you're interested in improving your mood, and start a little journal and think, okay, well, I did this today. I, sort of exercised here. Maybe rate your mood. And
That's awesome.
Track that towards the end of the year and see what days you're really being, you're winning on those days. And, a lot of individuals in the coaching world say you have to track things that you would like to change. And I know for some people that might be a hurdle to get over, but it's one way to see if things are working or not.
No, I think that's great, Chris. Create a little KPI for yourself. There's the performance coach in me, the sales leader. But no, if you're gonna tackle something, and I like that, for 4 weeks, set that goal, team, and maybe it's a short scale from 1 to 5 on how you felt that day or how your mood was that day, and then you might even catch some things or notice some things and be in front of those trends, if you will. I like that. That's sharp, Krisna.
And here's a funny story from a previous client of mine. She didn't like that whole idea of a rating of a number, but she was someone who was very visual. She liked color. So she took an old-fashioned calendar. She was working on improving her energy. And so the days that she got a good energy got colored yellow or orange.
That's
and
true.
Then it was to see how many yellow and orange days could she get by the end of the month. Isn't that fun?
I like it, guys. That's outstanding. Another one, Chris, a real simple one, and chat in, team. Who's doing this already? I bet a few of you are. But the gratitude journal, right, coming off Thanksgiving, a gratitude journal is something that does this work as well. And it's a real simple type of entry. It's not just some complex, I don't need you to go deep there, but it's a real quick entry on how you're feeling with what you're grateful for and what you're thankful for in that moment.
Absolutely. And when we look at how, this period, it's a holiday bonanza. As you said, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, then comes Valentine's Day. We just, when people say they struggle with the holidays, my first question was, which one? We have one every month. So we have to figure out our little ways to be able to handle those. Gratitude, we know, is extremely valuable on an individual level and on a company level. Maybe that's even a thought for a company challenge at one time, a gratitude challenge. How can we, within the company, be thankful for each one where we're working with, and also just see how that inspires between the teams.
That's a really good idea, Krisna. And it's like get on Amazon team and buy some gratitude journals. They can't be that expensive when you're buying some bulk ones, and put them on your team's desk with a little note and say, here's what we're doing. Like, guys, that's Krisna, powerful. And maybe your journal entry is deep. Like I might think like my gratitude journal is very brief and quick, but like I do it and it's helpful and it keeps me grounded and really real about what's happening.
Yeah. And I think that's the key, isn't it? Is finding what works for everyone. Employee wellness programs are always voluntary, like you never have to participate. And finding the participation level that works for you. And whatever, and that is having all kinds of tools in your toolbox. And the tools we're talking about today, and please, if anyone has a comment or question of what works for your team or your company, please join us in the chat. And we'd love to hear from you. Something that just came up with the coaching client today, which it doesn't show up on the scales, but she was talking about how good her joints felt since she's been changing up a lot of things in her lifestyle, her nutrition, her approach to exercise. And that's also something that we talk about within a metabolically healthy focus program. It's not just about the weight, but it's improving those metabolic markers that I mentioned and how those can influence other markers, and particularly inflammatory markers in your body. That might be something to keep track of. Are you improving? What's changed?
Oh yeah, that's tremendous. I mean, already seeing some benefits, mobility benefits, and I think we were talking a little bit earlier about our program, and that's what makes our employee wellness program special. You get to work with us and customize it to a degree, and that's somewhat unique. As I look around and see other teams that are doing employee wellness or bringing that type of program, we stand out there. And that's special. And if you want to explore more with Krisna and I, book in. Take the time to dig into strategy, to questions, to discussion about making some changes in the workplace for next year. Now's the time. We're right around the corner here from the Q1 start. So book in with us. We'd love to talk with you. And we've had some conversations, some amazing ones with you teams. So thank you.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? We have these sort of milestones. We have the quarters within the company. We have milestones of the holidays, of which we've mentioned here. And it is choosing those markers which work for you, which motivate you. A lot of people like to write down their goals. I'm personally not a big one on New Year's resolutions, but I am a big one on planning, of thinking about what it is, maybe as a general focus for the coming year. And for me, I always start with, what new books am I going to read?
None of that surprises me. I love it. Well, team, chat in any questions or thoughts on any of this discussion today and what you're doing for next year as we're getting ready for that. Just a few more sessions with you here this year as we finish our commitment to the Monday weekly session. We're going to keep this going. Might not be on a weekly schedule, but don't be surprised if it is. But chat in, connect with us a little bit here. Let us know what you're thinking on our topic today and previous weeks.
Yes. And let's see. We talked about a little bit about mood, energy,
sleep,
gratitude,
yep.
Focus. That's something super important in the workplace. Are you supporting your employees to maximize their focus? Or do we have constant interruptions in there? Are you allowing your team to really dive in deep on a project and get the maximum out of it? These are all strategies, both from a leadership position as well as an individual perspective.
Yeah, certainly. I think as I work with both teams, executives and frontline employees, it's really the same type of concept, and we go back to a couple sessions ago as we were framing really the last few sessions here and episodes was concept to finish strong. How do we stay in the game, right? How do we not have the ups and the downs and really achieve? Goes back to what I said earlier today, that best version of you. So, yeah, spot on there, Krisna. Really, really
And
spot on.
that comes to that topic we've touched on a couple times of becoming a corporate athlete. If you're in a job, you have to think of yourself as an athlete, that you're paying attention to your sleep, you're paying attention to how you fuel yourself, you're paying attention to your movement plan, even if that's just taking certain amount of breaks during the day, that you allow yourself to recharge your battery.
That's
Yeah.
powerful, you guys. And I think maybe the team, Chris and Chris behind the scenes. Chris is one of our amazing team members that helps with the production here. Chris, let's do the hashtag corporate athlete as we produce this series and finish this up. That's what it is, team. That's so spot on, Krisna.
Yeah. And, we started with talking about some little things that relate to the non-scale victories. But another word that I use with many clients is called, what are your little rituals that you do during the day to enhance your well-being? Even from that little moment of your morning coffee to, do you take, a break at lunch away from your desk so that you can clear your mind? Start thinking about what are the little rituals, routines to become a corporate athlete as you think of finishing the year strong.
I thought for a second, Chris, the rituals, because I always go to cadence. I was like, is rituals fleeting? Is it consistent? No, it is. So it is rituals, cadence, whatever that is. Like you need to do that consistently, team. And if those are the things that are working, like why would you stop?
Great question. And also, because of this holiday season, there's a little added layer of stress, right? More things to do. Your to-do list is longer. You might have more people around than you usually do. Something I take always from my decades as a professional dancer is if you get hurt, you can't work. And one thing that dancers are really good at are rituals, because we feel that it's almost like we'll jinx it if we don't do it in that way, right? Whether that's like, Steph Curry in his shirt or something like that.
I was a baseball player, superstitious like that, Krista.
Yeah. But rituals make us have a certain level of confidence. And finishing the year strong requires confidence in ourselves, confidence in our teammates. And so think about what are the rituals that can carry you to the end of December and on into 2025 strong.
Oh, that is so, I've said powerful several times, you guys. It just is. It's so powerful. Chat in if you have those now. Love to see those and see what you're sharing. And then we'll take a few questions, team. But another strong session with you, Krisna. Awesome. What do you guys got? Chat in.
Let us know what you're thinking, what you'd like to talk about. If you'd like a topic for a Monday live stream conversation, we are here for you. And that, if they'd like to talk to you, Jeremiah, about our metabolic programs, do that.
Yep.
And as always, we lead by example. We cannot force people to change. We're not in the business of that. We're hoping to inspire and empower. And a lot of that happens when we take care of ourselves.
Yeah. Awesome, Krisna. Chris, let's toss the booking link back up one more time. Thank you again, Chris, for your hard work behind the scenes. And just a quick look ahead as we wrap up today. Jator coming back. We'll have Dr. Ovadia come on. We'll have a client come on that we're working with and share their experience and their story about employee wellness in the workplace. But Krisna, thank you for leading the charge here and for your strong education and passion.
And great to see you always. And
thank you.
We'll be here next week.
We will see you next week, team. Thank you.